You know, that specific sinking feeling, that passive-active gap.
The gap.
Yeah. That thing where you can read a novel in English, you know every single lyric in a song, you've memorized flashcards,
Yeah.
but the second a barista asks you a simple question,
You just freeze.
total system failure.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, the words are in your head, but they feel like they're locked behind this glass wall. You can see them. You just can't. You can't grab them.
It's the difference between having a library and being able to tell a story.
Yes.
And that is the classic struggle for, almost every single learner. You've stockpiled all the inventory, the vocabulary, the grammar rules, but you haven't built the delivery system. And that's really what we're going to dissect today. We're looking at some practical guides from the Mr. English channel and the English Conversation Journal.
And the mission here isn't just learn more words. It's about deployment, right?
Yeah.
How do we take that passive knowledge and actually make it active, especially in high-pressure situations? So we're looking at, what, 3 arenas today? The nuance of social interactions, the high-stakes job interview.
And then the cognitive science of making it all stick so you don't just lose it a week later.
It's about moving from student to speaker.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with that social side of things.
Yeah.
The sources talk about this idea of a hierarchy of hello. I think for a long time, learners were just taught, how are you? As this, this catch-all phrase.
The default setting, but that's the textbook trap, isn't it? In the real world, how are you can actually be kind of heavy. It invites a real answer.
Or at least it implies a certain formality.
It does. And the source breakdown argues that context is the only thing that matters. So you have the super casual end of the spectrum, your friends, the Toms of your life.
You would not walk up to your friend Tom and say, how do you do?
You'd sound like a Victorian ghost. Or an alien, maybe.
Yeah.
You ask Tom, what's up? It's low friction, high speed. It implies you already know each other well. But, and this is the critical part, you cannot use that with the boss.
Oh, absolutely not. If you walk into a board meeting and hit the CEO with a, what's up?
You might be clearing out your desk later that afternoon. It just signals a total lack of awareness.
So for the boss, the Mr. Hendersons of the world, what do the sources say?
How are you today? It's respectful. It keeps that professional distance. But there's this great middle ground, a sweet spot I found really useful. The phrase, how is it going?
Yeah. That's kind of the utility player of greetings.
Exactly. It bridges that gap. It's friendly enough for a coworker, but still polite enough for a superior. It doesn't sound stiff, but it doesn't sound sloppy.
And the response is key here, right? You're not actually supposed to tell them how it's going.
No, absolutely not. Nobody wants a 10-minute monologue about your back pain.
Or your noisy neighbors.
The correct social code is just, it's going well, thank you, or good, thanks. Short, positive, and you bounce it right back.
So like a verbal handshake. You don't squeeze too hard or hold on too long.
Perfect analogy. It's just acknowledging their existence, not a request for data.
Okay, so speaking of that social coding, the sources spent a lot of time on softeners. You know, how we ask for things. I think this is where a lot of learners get into trouble. Not because they're being rude, but because they're too direct.
This is where direct translation will kill you. In a lot of languages, saying the equivalent of give me the coffee is totally neutral. It's just a transaction.
But in English,
In English, give me sounds like a command. It just creates all this friction.
it sounds aggressive, a little bit like a robbery.
Yeah, it does. The source compares that to can I have, just that small change. Can I have a coffee, please?
It changes the entire dynamic. It goes from a demand to a request.
You're acknowledging the other person's agency, even though, you're paying for the coffee.
It's psychological. You're asking for their permission.
Precisely. And that goes for the end of the meal, too. Can I have the check or can I have the bill? Both are totally fine.
Give me the bill.
Yeah, that's a good way to make sure you get bad service the next time you come in.
There was another nuance that I thought was fascinating about the word sorry.
Oh.
I've always just used it as, an apology. Like, I bumped into you, my bad, I'm sorry. But the material says it's also a conversational repair tool.
It is, but it's all in the inflection. So if you drop your phone, you say, I'm sorry, with a flat falling tone. You're admitting a mistake.
Okay.
But if you're in a noisy bar and you miss what someone just said, you use a rising tone. Sorry.
Like it's a question. Sorry?
Yes. It just signals data corruption, please resend. It doesn't mean I apologize. It just means I didn't hear you.
That's a great tool
Yeah.
because it's a way for learners to get clarity without killing the whole vibe of the conversation.
Instead of just nodding and pretending you understand, which, I mean, let's be honest, we've all done.
We've all done it. And that leads to another point, doesn't it? Don't be a statue.
The listening noises. If you just sit there stone-faced while someone's telling you a story, they're going to think you're bored or you just don't get it. You have to provide these little receipts that show you're following along.
So things like, or really.
Or, I see, that's awesome, that's great. I mean, they're not just filler words. They're the lubricant of a good conversation. They tell the speaker, hey, I'm with you, keep going.
Okay, so let's shift gears to a scenario that's going to cause a lot more sweat than a coffee shop.
Oh, job interview.
The ultimate test. This is where the English Conversation Journal really digs deep.
Yeah, the stakes are financial now.
We've got this case study, Sarah Johnson. She's applying for a supervisor role. And what I liked is that it treats the interview like a performance that starts before she even enters the room.
The lobby test. Sarah gets there. She's polite to the receptionist. She's not just scrolling on her phone. She's engaged.
Right. And then she has to follow these complex directions. Room 205, second floor, turn left, third door on the right.
Which is really a listening comprehension test in disguise.
It is. If you get lost on the way to the interview, you've already failed the first question.
It just sets the tone. But the real core of it is how she handles that first big question. Tell me about yourself.
Ah, the classic. This is where most people just ramble, right?
Yeah.
They give you their entire life story, starting from kindergarten.
I was born on a cold winter's morning.
And the hiring manager has already checked out.
Completely. But Sarah uses a formula. It's like a strategic narrative arc. Age and origin, then education, then current role, and then ambition.
Okay, so it's linear. Let's break down her answer. She says, I'm 25 from Chicago. That's the origin.
Then studied business at City College. Education, check.
Currently a coffee shop supervisor. That's the current role, the competency.
And then, this is the crucial part, she pivots to the future. And I'm looking to grow into management. It's so tight, it answers the question, but immediately pivots to why she is valuable to them.
She's not dwelling on the past. She's pitching her future.
Exactly.
Then comes the trap. What is your greatest weakness? I feel like this question is designed to make you lie. You know, give that classic, oh, I just care too much or I work too hard.
The humble brag. And hiring managers hate it. It just feels dishonest.
So what's the right way to do it?
The sources recommend the honest but improving strategy. You admit a real, genuine flaw. Sarah says she sometimes works too slowly because she obsesses over the details.
Which, in a fast-paced coffee shop, is a legitimate problem.
It is. But she immediately follows it with the patch. I am learning to work faster. You acknowledge the bug in your software, and then you explain the update you're installing to fix it.
That is a smart way to frame it. It shows self-awareness and that you're proactive about solving problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the interview, the manager asks, do you have any questions for me?
The final hurdle.
And your instinct is to just say no because you just want to get out of that room.
Which is a huge mistake. The source is very clear. Never say no. I have no questions.
Because it looks like you don't care.
It looks like you haven't thought critically about the job at all. You're just a passive applicant. But by asking about the free lunch on Fridays or the health insurance,
She's signaling she's actually picturing herself working there.
she's closing the deal. It changes the dynamic from please hire me to, so is this a good fit for us?
It's a power move.
It is. And in the case study, it worked. She got the job, $3,500 a month starting salary.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've navigated the party, we've secured the job. But here's the problem that always haunts me, and I know it haunts our listeners. I learn all these great phrases, the hierarchy of hello, the weakness strategy, and 3 days later, poof, they're gone.
The notebook graveyard.
It is so depressing. You write it down, you close the book, and the knowledge just stays in the book. It never makes it into your brain.
Right.
But the sources offered some retention strategies that are a bit unorthodox.
They're tactile, and that's why they work. Let's take the sticker method. You physically label your environment.
All right, you put a sticker that says mirror on your mirror, fridge on the fridge.
You're forcing your brain to encounter the English word every time you encounter the object. It's passive-spaced repetition. You're brushing your teeth, you see mirror, you're getting milk, you see the fridge is cold.
You're merging the vocabulary with your actual physical reality.
You can't escape it because it's literally pasted onto your life.
Okay, but you can't put a sticker on an abstract concept. You can't stick a label on excitement or negotiation.
True. And that's where the mirror chat comes in. It sounds a little theatrical, but the advice is to stand in front of the mirror and just narrate your emotions or your day.
Like, today I am excited because my friend has a wedding.
Exactly.
But why the mirror? Why not just think it in your head?
Proprioception. Watching your own mouth move, seeing yourself form the words, it connects the physical muscle memory to the mental concept. It tricks your brain into believing that you are an English speaker.
Plus, it's a zero judgment zone.
No one is there to laugh at your accent.
Speaking of zero judgment, I have to ask about the pet listener technique. This one made me laugh, but the logic is actually really sound.
This is my favorite one. You just explain your day to your dog. Buddy, you are a good boy. You are fast.
The dog does not care about your verb conjugation.
Not at all. The dog just wags its tail. It completely lowers the affective filter. In linguistics, that's the anxiety that just shuts down your language production.
So when you talk to a pet, the anxiety just vanishes.
Gone. You get all the practice of speaking aloud without any of the fear of being corrected.
And for those of us who need data, there's the voice diary.
Yeah, this one is for the self-improvers. Just record yourself speaking for 1 minute a day. This pizza is delicious. The traffic was bad.
And then you have to listen back. Ugh, that sounds painful. I hate the sound of my own voice.
Everybody does. It's cringy at first, but if you do it for a month, you have objective proof that you're getting better. You can hear your accent shifting. You can hear the hesitation disappearing.
So that feedback loop is actually motivating.
It's addictive because you can actually measure your progress.
Okay, the last technique was the mental label. This is for when you're out in the world, right?
Right, you're walking down the street and you just narrate your life inside your head. Car. Blue sky. Tall building.
And if you get stuck on a word,
you look it up immediately. There's a story in the source about a guy at the supermarket who forgot the word for garlic. He needed it right then, so he looked it up on his phone. And because he had that moment of real need, that tiny bit of frustration, he never forgot the word garlic again.
You know, that connects to the whole psychology of learning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The emotional connection.
It's the deepest tip we have today, I think. Don't just learn the word vacation as a translation. Connect it to your vacation. Think about the beach you went to, the sun on your skin, the smell of the ocean.
So you're hacking your brain. You're attaching the English word to an actual memory, not just another word.
Exactly. Emotion is the glue that makes memory stick. If a word has no feeling attached to it, your brain just throws it out.
It all seems to come down to one core philosophy from the Mr. English source.
Communication over perfection.
That's the golden rule, isn't it? We get so obsessed with grammar that we forget why we're speaking in the first place.
Totally. If you go to that cafe and you say, coffee with milk, please, and maybe the grammar is a mess, but the barista hands you a latte.
You won.
You won. The mission was successful.
You got the caffeine.
Precisely. We get so hung up on the perfect preposition that we forget the goal is just to connect with another human being. Small mistakes are okay. The important thing is just to keep the river flowing.
So let's look at the toolbox we've built today. We've swapped the robotic "how are you" for the context aware "how's it going."
We've replaced the aggressive "give me" with the polite, friction-reducing "can I have."
We've structured our interview answers to be strategic, using that honest but improving weakness tactic.
And we're going to cover our homes in sticky notes and talk to our pets to keep the engine running.
It's a whole system. You have the tools now.
The key is just to open the box and actually use them.
Before we sign off, I want to leave everyone with a challenge based on the sources. We talked about bridging that gap between passive listening and active participation.
The internet comment challenge.
Right. As soon as this deep dive ends, go to a social media post, maybe one of ours, maybe a YouTube video you like, and write just one sentence using a word you learned recently.
It's super low stakes. You have time to check your spelling, but it forces you to actually produce language.
It's the first step out of the notebook and into the world.
Give it a shot.
Turn that passive listening into active creation. And hey, good luck with those interviews.
See you later.
Take care.